Hi guys. Today we are going to look at another log called the anchor log, or also called the anchor watch record. This is what you have to fill out during an anchorage. Let's take the anchor log of one of the shipping companies as an example. Here we see the front page, which you have to fill out when the ship has just dropped anchor. And the second page is the log itself, where you have to make entries, usually every hour or as ordered by the captain. So, let's fill out the front page. We'll learn some new terms along the way. First, as usual, comes the name of the ship. The port to which you are heading. You can also write the name of the anchorage, but there is a separate place for this. The date you dropped anchor. Drafts forward and aft. Voyage number. Maximum permissible anchoring depth. How can this be determined? It is generally considered that the anchor holds well if the scope, that is, the ratio of the length of cable paid out to the depth of water is 7:1. So, in our case, if we pay out all 14 shackles, that is 385 meters of chain, to get this ratio, the maximum depth is 55 meters. Number of shackles available, port and starboard. This and other information regarding the anchor and anchor chain can usually be found in the ship's particulars document. Type and weight of anchor. Anchor chain weight and windlass capacity. Anchor used, port or starboard. Shackles used. The captain decides how many shackles to pay out. It is usually calculated using the formula 1.5 times the square root of the water depth. Chain used. Normally, 1 shackle of cable is equivalent to 27.5 meters. It is therefore necessary to multiply the number of shackles used by 27.5. Swinging circle. Usually the radius of such a circle is calculated by adding the length of the cable and the length of the ship. Some officers subtract the depth of water from this sum. To get this distance in nautical miles, divide everything by 1852. ECDIS radius. ECDIS radius or drag circle is used to determine when the vessel starts dragging. It can be the same as swinging circle if ship's particulars are entered in ECDIS, and ship's shape is shown and the dragging alarm is sounded when the ship's shape crosses the anchor monitor circle. Or if you plot your anchor position on a paper chart, or the ECDIS alarm only responds to the vessel's GPS position, the radius of the drag circle will be the sum of the length of the cable and the distance from the bow to the bridge of the vessel. Nature of seabed. It is usually indicated on the chart. If you cannot find it on the chart, it is usually indicated in the sailing directions. Holding power. Anchor holding power is influenced by the nature of the seabed and the fluke area. However, it is convenient to estimate the holding power of the anchor as a function of anchor weight. The following equation may be used to estimate the anchor holding power. Anchor holding power is equal to the weight of the anchor multiplied by the seabed factor. Seabed factors are given here at the bottom of the page. Water depth. It is usually taken from a chart. But of course, you should not neglect the use of echo sounder and tide tables. Scope used. As we already know, scope refers to the ratio of the length of cable paid out to the depth of water. and a scope of 6 to 10 is considered a good value. Degree of shelter. You can indicate here if it is inner or outer anchorage. Reason for anchorage. Usually it's waiting for a berth or bunkering. Name of anchorage. Usually it's indicated on the chart. Main engine status. VHF watch channel. Usually VHF channels of the pilots and VTS. Agent name, contact. All of this information above should preferably be completed before letting go of the anchor as part of anchoring planning. Observations upon letting go anchor. Bow GPS position. Plot a bow GPS position with accuracy 3 decimal points to know exact position where the anchor is dropped. Ship head. As with paper charts, you need to know ship's heading and distance from the bridge to the bow, for the purpose to know where the anchor exactly dropped. Visual bearing and range to landmark. And radar bearing and range to some land object. Tides. Time and height of high and low water in the nearest period. And the officers' signatures. So let's look at the next page, the log, where you have to make entries during your watch. So let's see what those entries are. Here is even an example. So date and time, usually every hour. Ship's heading, gyro and magnetic. Closest vessel range. Range is usually monitored by radar. Closest buoy, beacon range if any. Bearing and range to landmarks. How anchor chain is leading in its state. Winds, currents, and waves. Course over ground, speed over ground and yawing. Remarks. Usually a weather forecast is indicated, and the signature of the officer of the watch. Okay guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.